In the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, where curses run rampant and darkness looms at every corner, there emerges a character so chillingly malevolent, he blurs the lines between human and monster. This is the story of Mahito, the architect of destruction. Welcome to Jujutsu Kaisen, a universe where the fight between good and evil transcends our understanding, where sorcerers battle against malevolent curses born from human negativity. Amidst this chaos stands an antagonist who is not just a mere embodiment of evil, but a cunning strategist with a twisted philosophy. Meet Mahito, a cursed spirit whose terrifying power is matched only by his deep-seated hatred for humanity. In this world where curses and humans coexist in a fragile balance, Mahito emerges as a central figure, orchestrating chaos and destruction. His actions are not just a threat to the physical world, but they challenge the very moral fabric of what it means to be human. From his haunting debut to his dramatic downfall, Mahito's journey is one of horror, conflict, and betrayal. But what drives a being like Mahito? And how does his dark path intertwine with the fates of our heroes, especially Yuji Itadori, the heart and soul of the Jujutsu Kaisen world? Join us as we unravel the horrifying downward spiral of Mahito. Prepare to dive deep into the psyche of one of anime's most fascinating villains. Mahito first appears as a seemingly playful, eccentric, almost childlike cursed spirit. But don't let his facade fool you. Mahito, from his very introduction, reveals an ideology that is as chilling as it is revealing. He sees humans and cursed spirits not just as opposing forces, but as entities in a transformative cycle where the line between the two is blurred by hatred and negative emotions. This philosophy becomes a driving force behind his actions, shaping him into a figure who finds joy in chaos and destruction. Mahito's unique curse technique, idol transfiguration, allows him to manipulate the souls of his victims, a power that mirrors the core of his twisted beliefs. With a mere touch, he can grotesquely distort human bodies, reflecting his view of humanity as malleable and insignificant. This ability isn't just a tool for him, it's an artistic expression of his disdain for human life. The ease and nonchalance with which Mahito wields this power only heightens his menace, making him a cursed spirit whose capabilities are as unpredictable as they are horrifying. Several key moments in the series showcase Mahito's cruelty and utter disregard for human life. One of the most harrowing examples is his encounter with Junpei Yoshino, a troubled high school student. Mahito manipulates Junpei, exploiting his vulnerabilities and leading him down a path of despair. This culminates in a heart-wrenching scene where Mahito callously transforms Junpei, showcasing his lack of empathy and enjoyment in others' sufferings. It's in these moments that Mahito's true nature as an architect of destruction comes to the fore. His actions aren't just acts of violence, they are statements, echoing his belief that in the grand scheme of things, human lives are mere playthings in the hands of higher, more malevolent powers. In Mahito's world, cruelty is a form of art, and destruction is a means to demonstrate his ideology. His rise as a central antagonist in Jujutsu Kaisen sets a dark and compelling narrative, one that challenges our heroes not just physically, but morally and philosophically. Mahito's character, with his unique powers and terrifying worldview, thus becomes a pivotal element in the series, pushing the boundaries of what it means to be a villain in the realm of cursed spirits and sorcerers. Mahito's influence in JJK extends far beyond his terrifying abilities. It's his cunning manipulations and strategic battles against the protagonists that truly showcase his menacing presence. His encounters with sorcerers are not mere fights, they're psychological games where he exploits weaknesses and turns personal fears against his opponents. Though, through these battles, Mahito's intelligence and strategic acumen are as evident as his physical prowess, making him a formidable foe for even the most skilled sorcerers. Mahito's intelligence and strategic acumen are also highlighted in his significant fights. In each battle, Mahito showcases not just raw power, but a deep understanding of his opponent's techniques and strategies. He adapts and evolves during combat, often turning the tables on his enemies in unexpected ways. One of the most significant impacts of Mahito's malevolence is seen in his interaction with Junpei. Mahito's manipulation of Junpei is a dark display of his influence over vulnerable individuals. He preys on Junpei's despair and loneliness, twisting him into a pawn for his sinister plans. This relationship culminates in a tragic confrontation, leaving an undeniable mark on Yuji Itadori, and illustrating the depth of Mahito's cruelty. Mahito aims to erode Yuji's resolve by forcing him to confront the harsh realities of death and the value of human life. These confrontations are not just about winning or losing the fight, they're about breaking the spirit and conviction of his adversaries. Mahito's acts of evil reach a new height with the deaths of two key characters, Kento Nanami and Nobara Kugisaki. The death of Nanami, a seasoned sorcerer known for his stoicism and skill, is a significant blow to the Jujutsu world. Mahito's ability to overpower Nanami not only demonstrates his formidable strength, but also serves as a grim reminder of the real and present danger he poses. Nanami's death is not just a physical loss, it's a symbolic defeat, shaking the foundation of the sorcerer's resolve. The situation with Nobara Kugisaki further showcases Mahito's strategic cruelty. His battle with Nobara is brutal, reflecting his willingness to inflict pain and suffering without remorse. Nobara's eventual fate at Mahito's hands is more than a physical defeat. It's a calculated move to inflict psychological damage to Yuji. Mahito understands the emotional ties between the sorcerer and uses this knowledge to his advantage, turning their pain into a weapon. The consequences of Mahito's actions extend beyond the battlefield. His influence seeps into the psyche of Yuji Itadori, the series' protagonist. The deaths of Nanami and Nobara, individuals close to Yuji, are not just physical losses, but emotional traumas that leave deep scars. Mahito's intention is clear: to break Yuji, not just as a sorcerer, but as a person. In doing so, Mahito's role transcends that of a typical antagonist. He becomes a catalyst for significant character development and plot progression in the series. Mahito's influence and acts of evil are pivotal in shaping the narrative of Jujutsu Kaisen. His manipulations and battles against the protagonists are not pointless confrontations, but are deeply intertwined with the emotional and psychological threads of the story, making Mahito a character whose presence is felt long after his scenes are eroded. Each clash with Yuji serves as a catalyst for Mahito's transformation, both in terms of power and philosophical outlook. The dynamic between Mahito and Yuji is complex, marked by a mix of antagonism, curiosity, and a twisted sense of recognition. Mahito, in his encounters with Yuji, sees not just an adversary, but a mirror to his own soul's distortions. As the series progresses, we witness significant evolution in Mahito's abilities. His curse energy increases exponentially, a testament to his adaptability and potential for growth. This escalation is not just a quantitative change, it's qualitative as well. Mahito's technique becomes more refined, his strategies more cunning, and his understanding of curse energy more profound. This evolution is most evident in his latter battles, where he demonstrates an enhanced ability to manipulate his own soul, leading to even more grotesque and powerful forms. Mahito's relationships with other curses and curse users are another facet of his character's development. While he often appears to be a lone wolf, his interactions with figures like Sukuna and other curses reveal a deeper layer of his persona. Mahito is not just a rogue element, he's a key player in the broader curse world, with his own agenda and alliances. His relationship with Sukuna in particular is intriguing. There's a mutual recognition of power and a shared understanding of their roles as major threats to the Jujutsu Kaisen world. However, this relationship is not without its complexities, as Mahito's unpredictable nature sometimes puts him at odds with other powerful entities. The turning point in Mahito's character arc is thus a blend of personal evolution and external conflicts. His encounters with Yuji and the other characters are more than just plot points, they're moments that test and reshape him. Through these experiences, Mahito's character becomes more layered, moving from a seemingly one-dimensional villain to a multifaceted antagonist with a deep understanding of his own cursed nature. This evolution makes Mahito not just a formidable opponent for Yuji and the other sorcerers, but also a character whose journey is integral to the overarching narrative of Jujutsu Kaisen. As Jujutsu Kaisen builds towards its intense crescendo, the stage is set for a climactic showdown between Mahito, Todo, and Yuji. This battle is not just a spectacle of curse techniques and raw power, it's a culmination of the emotional and psychological journeys of the characters involved, especially Mahito. The confrontation is charged with a sense of inevitability, as if the entire narrative had been leading to this moment of reckoning. Mahito enters this final battle with an air of confidence bolstered by his evolved powers and past victories. However, as the fight progresses, cracks begin to appear in his facade. The psychological state of Mahito during this battle is complex. There's a mix of overconfidence, a desire for validation of his beliefs, and an underlying sense of desperation. These conflicting emotions manifest in tactical errors as Mahito underestimates the resolve and growth of his adversaries, particularly Yuji Itadori. Yuji's determination and newfound strength, gained from his previous encounters and losses, present a challenge that Mahito is not fully prepared for. The tide of battle shifts dramatically as Mahito's overconfidence leads him into traps and miscalculations. He finds himself outmaneuvered and outmatched, not just in terms of physical combat, but also in the psychological warfare he had so often wielded to his advantage. The realization that he is losing ground, both literally and figuratively, begins to dawn on him. This moment of realization is a critical point in his character arc, as it forces him to confront the possibility of his own mortality and the fallacy of his ideologies. In the final moments of the battle, as Mahito faces the imminent threat of defeat, there's a palpable sense of desperation and disbelief. The once confident and manipulative cursed spirit is now grappling with the reality of his vulnerability. Mahito's end comes not just as a physical defeat, but as a crushing blow to his philosophy and worldview. His realization in those last moments, his understanding of the world and his place in it might have been flawed, adds a layer of tragedy to his character. Mahito's downfall is thus a powerful narrative moment, marking not just the end of a villain, but the closure of a complex and emotionally charged chapter for Yuji, accepting that despite Mahito's flaws, he was right about him, being his mirror in this war between sorcerers and curses. In the intricate web of alliances and power struggles that define Jujutsu Kaisen, one of the most pivotal relationships, however, is that between Mahito and Kenjaku, the entity inhabiting the body of Suguru Geto. This alliance, formed on the basis of mutual interests and a shared vision for the cursed world, plays a significant role in shaping the series' plot. Mahito, with his radical ideologies and potent curse techniques, finds in Kenjaku not just an ally, but a mentor figure. Kenjaku, for his part, appears to be nurturing Mahito's growth for a larger, more sinister agenda. As the story unfolds, the dynamics of this alliance become increasingly complex. Kenjaku, known for his manipulation and long-term strategic planning, seems to be guiding Mahito towards a path that aligns with his own obscure objectives. For Mahito, this relationship is a source of empowerment and validation, as he sees Kenjaku's support as a confirmation of his beliefs and actions. However, the true nature of this alliance is far more convoluted than Mahito realizes. The twist after Mahito's final clash with Yuji is revealed as Kenjaku betrays Mahito, absorbing him with his curse technique. This betrayal is not a spontaneous act, it's a calculated move, meticulously planned by Kenjaku. The reasons behind this betrayal are rooted in Kenjaku's broader ambitions and his perception of Mahito as a tool rather than a partner. Kenjaku, with his deep understanding of the Jujutsu world and its workings, recognizes that Mahito's role in his grand scheme has reached its endpoint. For Kenjaku, Mahito is a means to an end, and once that end is achieved, he becomes expendable. The implications of this betrayal are profound, both for Mahito and the overall storyline. For Mahito, the betrayal serves as a brutal reminder of the harsh realities of the world he inhabits, where alliances are fragile and can be broken for higher strategic plans. For the narrative, this twist adds a layer of complexity to Kenjaku's character and sets the stage for further developments in the series. It highlights Kenjaku's cunning and ruthless nature, making him an even more formidable antagonist in the saga. This twist not only brings closure to Mahito's arc, but also propels the story forward, setting up new conflicts and challenges for the protagonist to face. As we look back on the tumultuous events of Jujutsu Kaisen, it becomes clear that Mahito's presence in the series was more than just that of a typical antagonist. His role in the narrative was multifaceted, serving as a catalyst for significant developments and character arcs. Mahito, through his ideologies and actions, challenged the foundations of the Jujutsu Kaisen world and forced characters and viewers alike to confront complex moral dilemmas. Mahito's legacy in Jujutsu Kaisen is defined by the profound impact he had on the characters, particularly on Yuji. Yuji, the heart of the series, experiences a significant transformation, much of which can be attributed to his encounters with Mahito. These encounters force Yuji to face the harsh realities of the world he is a part of, challenging his beliefs and ideals. Mahito, in a twisted way, becomes a dark mentor figure to Yuji, pushing him to his limits and beyond. The emotional and psychological scars left by Mahito on Yuji are deep and lasting, shaping Yuji's development as a sorcerer and as a person. Beyond Yuji, Mahito's influence extends to other characters as well. His actions and the resulting conflicts bring about pivotal moments of growth and self-realization for several characters in the series. Mahito's manipulations, his battles, and ultimately his downfall serve as turning points in the lives of these characters, altering their pasts and shaping their futures forever. Furthermore, Mahito's ideologies and his approach to the cursed spirit-human dynamic add a layer of complexity to the series' thematic exploration. He represents a radical perspective on the nature of curses and cursed energy, challenging both characters and viewers to ponder the deeper implications of this coexistence. The moral ambiguities and philosophical questions raised by Mahito's character linger in the narrative long after his demise. Mahito's role in Jujutsu Kaisen goes beyond that of a mere antagonist. He is a character whose actions and beliefs leave a lasting imprint on the story and its characters. His legacy is one of conflict, transformation, and introspection, making him a pivotal figure in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, whose influence continues to resonate with us, the audience. In the end, Mahito's journey in Jujutsu Kaisen, from a feared antagonist to his ultimate downfall, is a narrative rich in complexity and moral ambiguity. As we traced his path from the architect of destruction to a figure overwhelmed by his own machinations and ultimately betrayed, we witnessed not just the evolution of a villain, but the unfolding of a deeply layered character. Mahito's actions and ideology challenge both the characters in the series and us as viewers to ponder the intricate moral fiber of the Jujutsu world. His story raises profound questions about the nature of humanity, the essence of cursed spirits, and the blurred lines between them. As we reflect on Mahito's character, we are left to contemplate the darker aspects of human nature and the consequences of unchecked power and ambition. Now I turn to you, the viewers. What are your thoughts on Mahito's character arc in Jujutsu Kaisen? How do you perceive his influence on the series and its characters? Share your thoughts in the comments below. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.